What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? FSCon has been going beautifully. Super ecstatic today. But this is panel number. What are we on? Panel number 5, 6?
Oh, good gracious.
7? I don't know.
95?
95. We're on panel 95 right now. In 95, actually, we're on panel 99. If you caught that. And panel 99 is the FSK panel. And right now we got boom.
What
It's
up?
not the full FSK team, but a good portion of us here live. We got announcements after announcements to drop here today. As soon as I get my iPad open. There we go. Let's see here.
What's good?
All right, I'm gonna have
Good day to you, Todd. Good day.
Go ahead, Fish. You started off.
Hey everybody, it's Fish Lee here. Happy to see you. I am the writer and creator behind Green Zone. I'm the artist making Tony Clapper's dream come true with 5-star all around, dude. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Veronica, introduce yourself.
I'm Ronnie Smith. I'm lead colorist and editor at FSK.
And Tony.
I am the Chat 'em Up champion, the Clapback Kid, co-host of 5-Star Fridays, writer of 5-Star, genuinely a great guy to be around, someone that you want in your corner. That's me. I'm in the building. What's happening?
Back.
And newest member of Freestyle Comics, Ryan. Ryan, don't tell nobody about what you did.
The originator.
The originator. Ryan in the house at FSK. It's been a blast. Been fantastic. It's been lovely. I don't know what to say.
Illustrator of Moana.
Hey, illustrator, what you illustrate? What book? What children's book you illustrate?
Shadows of the Ancients.
I think I illustrated a book, a children's book called The Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea, Shadows of the Ancient. Shadows of the Ancient. Out now with the wonderful Moana McAdams, writer, creator of The Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we got everybody in the building. Obviously, this is besides watching the panels, being at the event and being at the convention and stuff. This is probably my favorite part of the show is that we talk about what we're doing for the rest of the year and what we got planned for next year. A quick summary: last year when we did FSCon, Fish, we signed Tony, Alyssa, and Charlie to our team, which expanded our roster, and we have doubled our book supply. All right, right now. We have produced, since FSK has been in a situation, we have produced 33 comic books, 33 individual issues between 12 titles. Today alone, we premiered the physical copy of 7 brand new books. Emerald Quest number 2, number 3, Hotshot and Friends, The Light Within, Vigilance number 4, Cypher number 3, Scribble War. All dropped today in physical copies for FSCon. And my Kickstarter people, do not worry. All your stuff is in my house, in my basement. We are literally waiting for the metal bookmarks to get here for Vigilance, for Green Zone, and Emerald Quest so we can start shipping. I promise you, we are going to ship, but I'm cheap. I'm sorry. I'm not going to ship you all y'all books and then ship you some metal bookmarks too. That's going to eat up all our money. So we're playing the patience game right now. But we there. Now, with all that aside, we're about to get into these announcements, and they kind of not in order, so we're just going to ride with them as we go. Now, I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Let's
get it.
Go.
Are y'all ready for this?
We ready. We ready.
All right, we got our screen up. That's a map.
That's a
table
map.
layout for the show. I'm showing that to y'all because we've never done that before, so we growing. We've never had a map before for table layouts, and we had one this year. But all right, now you got to see this one a little bit earlier. We showed you the cover for Hotshot number 12 with the colors. So that's where we're at right. Why are you on select mode? Sorry. There we go. So Hot Shot number 12, which will be dropping next year. The cover was drawn by me. The inks are by Lori Foster, and Veronica colored this book or this cover today live for you, and it was incredible. In case you don't know what this is the third part to Unforgiven, and in this issue, this is the issue where Mike faces his stepfather, who has been physically abusing his mother for several years, and Mike gets to resolve that issue with his superpowers. This is going to be a very emotional issue. And if you thought the Void versus Hot Shot fight was violent,
Y'all ain't ready.
y'all not ready. We have stepped it up in this one. There's something that we like to talk about when we make these stories involving trauma, and when we involve these stories around real life scenarios and things like that. How do you explore that? How do you deal with it? How do you move past? And I'm gonna tell you right now, Mike in our book has not moved past it. All right, cover number 13 for Hot Shot, which both these books will be dropping next year. This is Hot Shot. This is part 4 of Unforgiven. We are entering and meeting a new character called Apex. Who is Apex? What does he mean for Hot Shot? What type of problems will he be causing? All I know is he's not a friend, and this is not going to be a good look for Hot Shot come issue 13. Issue 14 of Hot Shot. It's going to be written by Travis Gibb.
Nice.
I am super excited. Already saw the script. We already got a brand new character coming in here. Travis Gibb is an awesome writer. He does a lot of stuff out here, man. Very, very honored to have him jump on and scribe this issue of Hot Shot. That was a close look at the cover. I told you guys the stuff's out of order as it loaded up to my iPad. Danny Cooper, editor-in-chief. He came to me with a great story, one-shot story for Hot Shot, and he'll be writing Hot Shot number 15 that we have coming up. Hot Shot number 15 is also going to feature a brand new costume from Hot Shot as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're switching over to Vigilance. We have the Vigilance with a cover by Ryan Robinson.
You do that. You do that.
Collecting the first 4 issues of Vigilance and Hot Shot number 5. Now, why would you be including Hot Shot number 5, guys? Well, Hot Shot number 5 is one perspective, one side of what happens to Vigilance and Vigilance 4. So we feel like for you to get the full story, we're going to give you Vigilance 1, 2, and 3, Hot Shot 5, and we're going to edit it together like it's one book, Hot Shot 5 and 4, to complete that trade.
Nice.
I don't think that's been done before.
Man.
Something we're doing differently.
Good stuff.
Something that we're doing differently. We're trying to change how we tell stories at FSK and really share this community of books that we have. Hot Shot trade coming next year. Issues 9-13 in trade format for Hot Shot.
Ooh.
Oh, I keep swiping up there. Like it's gonna do something. Right here is a preview of one of the covers for Zero Event. Now,
Drawn by Mike Lancet.
drawn by Mike Lancet. Thank you. Oh, did it not up? Hold on one second. Biscuits and Jiminy Crickets. It didn't upload. I'll find it and we'll pull it up later. But this is one of the covers. We're going to meet Justice and the Original Heroes International team, and we're going to meet Nemesis. Nemesis is the person who kills Justice, Hot Shot's idol and mentor.
Nice.
This is the trade cover for Zero Event. So the way
I think people need to exit the building. That's a lot. I think people need to exit the building. That cover right there is intense.
Mike Lancet also drew and inked this cover. So what we're doing is we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to issue 1 of Zero Event solo by itself. And then issues 2 and 3 will collect issues 1 into a complete trade into Kickstarter next year. And this will be the wraparound cover that will be happening for that book. Emerald Quest. Emerald Quest, after issue number 4, starting with issue number 5, is going to be taking over the writing. Brian J. Lambert, everybody. Brian J. Lambert comes to Freestyle Comics to scribe the rest of the story of Emerald Quest. Thought long and hard about who I wanted to continue this story because, as I've super discovered and it's been reassured to me after this event, I wear too many damn hats. And I need help. So, relinquishing some duties and things like that. I want to make sure I put this book in the hand of a creative that I trust. And J. Lambert is crazy good out there. Can't wait to see what he brings to the story.
Nice.
Next year, we did not get an issue of Heroes International this year, and we apologize for that. But we are coming with a brand new issue of Heroes International and another Kickstarter. But in that new issue, number 4, we're also going to include the trade with that. So we're going to be collecting Heroes International 1 through 4 with a brand new issue and a trade in Kickstarter next year. I am missing all the chats. God, oh, we had a whole conversation I'm missing. Moana said, give me all the trades. Oh, Moana wants to write a... Hey, Moana, I got you. Yes, you absolutely can. I got you. Moana said she wants to write a story for Carla.
Oh.
I'm not passing that
All right.
up. I saw somebody said, give me all the issues of the Green Zone. How many issues we getting? We getting to that. Legend said he can't wait for Light Within. Bill said, let's go. Camille, what was the let's go for? What did we say? Doomsmith, you got a proposition for me? What's the proposition? Yes, Scribble War is out today too.
Everything's out today.
Ryan is on the team officially. Yes, he is.
The last one.
The twist is this. If the cover does well, oh. So he must have said something else. Doomsmith.
Blade.
Look for Doomsmith.
Man, help stuff.
Okay. Doomsmith said, I'd like to do a cover for one of your books, but there's a twist. The twist is this. If the cover does well, then you can pay me what you feel is worth. If not, then you don't have to pay me. Just publishing credit. That's not a bad deal. I mean, I can't turn down that deal. We'll talk, Doomsmith. Somebody said, let me get that Zero Event trade ASAP. Yeah, we've been talking about the Zero Event for a while. The number 1 issue just needs the cover to get finished and some letters to get finished on it. And then after we drop that, we're like, we want to stop talking about it. We want to just bring the book out. So 2 and 3 in one book with issue 1 as a trade, and we're just going to get it out the way. We're just going to release this and keep it moving. This book took off. Cypher number 3, and the buzz has been crazy for ever since then. Taijutsu Gates its own solo title. Taijutsu Gates number 1 releasing next year.
Yes.
Another trade coming at you with the cover by Veronica Smith. Veronica getting busy out here, y'all.
Turn into regular fish over here knocking out all that work.
So this
Go
is
ahead, Veronica, with your bad there. Get her.
Request 1 through 4. Veronica did the cover, and the title of that is A Hero's Path, Volume 1.
Nice.
And if you have not been paying attention, Ace Blade and Lumberjacks will be making their appearance in our books called Emerald Quest. This is a crossover that we're doing, and it's kind of a crossover that lets us borrow their characters and vice versa. I talked about this for a while with Danny J. Quick. I talked about this a while with Morgan, and trying to figure out how their characters can be incorporated into our world, where we would get to be able to play with them and still get that crossover action. These are going to be some very serious characters in Emerald Quest. I can't wait for you guys to see them when they premiere. 5-star. Now this is backwards. I'm sorry. So we're going to start here. 2 and 5-star number 3 coming out. Number 2 is going to be dropping next month on Kickstarter. So get your Kickstarters ready. We're getting that page. And I'm very excited to say this. 5-star is crossing over with Heroes International.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Fish,
sir.
you want to tell us a little bit about it, Fish?
Oh man, this issue is so much fun, man. There is chaos, there is wreckage, there is heroes, there is drama. There's my grandbabies in there, all kinds of stuff, man. I'm fitting everybody I can think of into this book, and we've also been leaving some spots in there. So, like, if a backer wants to say get on the cover of the book, you can get a slot there. We got little blank figures hanging out that we can make you. J-Man, Andrew, I'm just throwing it out there, you know. Man, this was so much fun. I had so much fun on this book.
Awesome. We got issue number 3 that will probably be dropping early next year. The thing about this one, this book is already done, but I think Tony has room to add 5 more pages to something that we were talking about to make it more inclusive into the FSK verse. But and I love this cover. I love this design. Fish, how'd you come up with this?
Man, I tossed around with a lot of different things with this, but like because we're rewriting things and because the story in issue 2 is completely different now, and we're rewriting issue 3, make it fit in and make everything work right. Like them sneaking up behind him while he's all posing and feeling himself and all boastful, like that just fits so well with the storyline in issue 3. That man, it hit me and everybody loved it.
I got
It
a
was,
question.
but Andrew, but we decided to break it up. We figured it'd be better for Tony and Momentum to do 2 separate books, 2 separate Kickstarters for it. And we want to spread out some of our releases.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Tony,
Yeah.
what can we expect?
Whew. So, 5-star 2 is a emotional roller coaster for Kevin Terry. We're going to see a lot of emotion coming from Kevin Terry, a lot of up and downs going from guilt. He's dealing with the guilt. It's finally hit him that, the only reason he's got the second chance is because of the death of his friend. So he's dealing with that guilt right there. He's dealing with, and he goes on where he meets Hero International, not to give too much away, but he deals with, maybe not being as good as he thinks he is. So he has a coming to moment. So it's just a lot of emotion that's going to ride in this episode, a lot of highs and lows. And I think the readers are going to be able to see more of Kevin Terry in issue 2. So we're excited about that. Fish highlighted the art really great in this. We with this cover for issue 3, I thought it was a cool idea to add the logo of 5-star, like they're coming through the logo in the back. So yeah, man, when we get a good collaborative effort on the book, and we're excited for it to be out there in the hands of the people.
Let's go. Let's go.
Moving on to the next one. Danny Cooper, we've been talking about this for a minute. We're going to actually get to it now. He is also going to be writing and taking over the writing for Heroes International. Number 4, Danny's put him through the ringer, man. He really is. I can't wait to get this issue out to you guys. But he's officially taken over as writer of not just that issue, but the series.
Oh, wow, I didn't know.
Green Zone in the Blocks, Life in the Blocks, issues 2 and 3, Kickstarter coming in November. All right. I didn't know we were going to get these books out because Fish got sick.
Yeah.
Fish got COVID and he was gone for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, dang, I'm not about to bother Fish about books. He's sick. We'll just push it back. Next thing I know, Fish gets better. He's at a show. He slides in my inbox like, hey, Mike, here's number 2. It's done.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Oh, by the way, here's number 3. It's written, penciled, and lettered, ready to go. Like I'm deep working in the inks now.
Yeah.
Like the colors are back. I hired a colorist to work with me, Nick Thompson, for issues 2 and 3. I love his work. He did such a great job. But another part of our announcement is that we're going to be taking this to like 6 issues next year. So I have to get a colorist to help me out with that to help speed things up. And somebody's busy coloring everybody else's books. So Nick Thompson killed it on this. I am so proud of issue 2. It looks so good. And man, he's already tearing it up on issue 3, and it is going to be so good. I literally had Lori like in tears as I was sending her pages for issue 2. She's like, "Oh, poor Virgil." Oh, I can't wait to see what y'all's reaction is to it because it's good stuff.
Awesome. So we're definitely upping the ante on the Green Zone books. Fish has freed up a lot of time and dug himself. Like I've never seen an artist come back as quick as Fish did to get both those books penciled. Then get a whole book completely done. But we sat down, we've been talking back and forth, and Fish was like, "Well, what do you want to do? I do want to put out more books." I was like, just a conversation of us. Are you sure? Do you think you can balance that? Because if we do it, you're gonna have to keep up with the input, output, or whatnot. And Fish said, literally, fuck it.
Knocking out books ain't the problem.
Yeah.
I just you got to get them out there and get them to folks. That's we're getting that stuff figured out.
Yeah. I think with our next Kickstarters, we're going to be really limited on what we're getting. I'm finding, I think we've been very lucky in the pandemic, and now some of that, like, all right, buddies, now we're hitting some of that supply stuff is running out and running thin. So I think on our next campaign, it's going to kind of be really reserved on how many of the extra vittles we put on there. I'm actually, Lori doesn't know this yet, but I'm putting Lori in charge of our Kickstarters. She don't know it yet. That's the other announcement. Lori Foster's gonna be running our Kickstarters.
That's the other announcement. Pay attention, Lori. This is for you.
This is for you, Lori. All right, Legend said, when will we get a Fish Lee solo book for 5-star? I'd love to see Fish do a solo book for 5-star, like 5-star written and illustrated by Fish.
Ooh. You're throwing out some good ideas there. I like that. Because I'm here to tell you, like, Tony has been getting pages of Green Zone since the beginning, and he's already got like his own separate storyline written. He's like, this is probably going to end up being a graphic novel down the road. So, like, I wouldn't mind getting my own little solo story on 5-star there. Oh, yeah, that's juicy stuff. That's a good idea.
All right, next up, y'all. Hey, what was that? Let me put that back. Let me put that back. Hey, did y'all see that? Yeah, man. Concrete Comics will be crossing over with Freestyle Comics. New Kickstarter coming in 2023. Lonzo, about this. We've got the story worked out. We've already picked the characters that are going to be in this book. This is part 1. It is a one-shot. All right. It's going to be 48 pages. Our Kickstarter goal is going to be based on the team that we put together to make it. Oh yeah, what we got? Camille said, "What?" Legend. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the reactions I want. When are we getting Dark Vigilance? Don't worry, Dark Vigilance is coming. Is what I hear. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here for. Camille said, Brad Arnie said crossover. Camille said, yes. This is what Lonzo hinted at to me. Holy shite. God dang. You really saying, yep. Hey, guys, gals, if y'all think that that's something, look, this is a one-shot. 48 pages, mixing it up. That is only part 1 of it. There's a part 2 that we're doing towards the end of the year. Y'all ready?
No, they ain't ready.
They ain't
They ain't ready.
They're not ready.
They don't even know what's coming.
They don't even know what's going. Hey, I'm just.
Y'all think we playing? Y'all don't know how I put books out. Like y'all get ready.
You see us in the middle because y'all not ready. Next announcement. We about to jump the Spider Squirrel because I'm about to distract y'all real quick. Chris Panana. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Panana.
But he's an artist, amazing artist. He is coming to Spider Squirrel next year for an 80-page annual in 2023. Look, he is dope. I buy pencils from him on iPad. I bought his ink brushes off of iPad. I loaded his pages, his sketch pages, how he puts comic books together. Dude, I've got the other Spider Squirrel books, right? But if I'm getting a Spider Squirrel book next year, it is this one.
Oh man, I mean, I'm getting them all anyway,
right?
Because I'm hardcore on it. I'm so excited for this.
But Charlie just ensured that he's getting my money.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this.
No question.
I mean, I already get a copy because I'm an edit. I'm publisher, so I get a book. I get it.
This
But now
is
he's getting my
probably
money.
one of the ones that's going to push me into get multiple copies. Like my wife even does that. I've never gone that far yet, but this one I'm probably going to. Because I'm going to have one to put up and one to thumb through on the regular. Finger check it all out.
Oh my God, my body is ready. Concrete freestyle crossover. Camille has the heads exploding. Jeremy's still on it, saying 48 pages. Jeremy said, I'm building FSK if my blood pressure goes up. And Facebook says Chris Campanella. Y'all still slacking on the emergence, and I expect those physical milestones by the end of 5-star. And you still owe me them push-ups from Hot Shot. Don't worry about all that, man. Let's just focus on the news today. Let's focus on today.
Let's not
And we're not
they're doing push-ups. Let's let that slide.
we're not 6-0 of an emergence. Emergence is still coming. I'm making an announcement of who the writer is on that as well. But the thing I was saying that y'all not ready for, the thing that I said that y'all not ready, which will be part 2 of another crossover that Freestyle Comics is doing. Because part 1 is Concrete Comics. Part 2 is Super versus Freestyle Comics.
Oh, dude!
Shut it up!
Woo!
Shut it down!
Mic drop.
Mic
This
drop.
is my jam.
That's it, y'all.
Oh,
Super?
No.
Unlikely Hero Studios superhero
Michael.
book Super
Michael,
versus Freestyle Comics.
Michael, I was not ready for this.
You wasn't
Michael.
ready for this?
Michael, how dare you? How dare
I'm
you
sorry.
leave me in the dark? You left me in the dark.
I'm sorry.
I
can't
can't,
tell you
my blood
everything.
pressure.
I gotta keep you on your toes.
We should have all been emotional for this ahead of time. There should have been fainting couches to lay upon. We should have EMTs here for this kind of announcement.
I'm done.
This isn't something to take lightly.
DJ Quick just said he died.
I'm telling you,
Responding from the grave.
just wait till Mrs. J. Quick comes to you because he's dead now. You should have warned people. I'm telling you, they weren't ready.
Oh, they were not ready. Hey, and this one is gonna be super fun to do, because this is an actual all-out brawl between the characters of Super and the characters of Freestyle Comics. All right, that is coming. That's happening. Same deal in Kickstarter towards the end of the year, next year. So get ready for that as it is happening. What is this? This is going to be most epic.
Indeed.
It is. It is. Fish found out about this, 2 days ago?
Oh, man. I'm so excited about this. Like, y'all don't know how much I love this freaking book. Like, I talk to Lori about this book all the freaking time because I am a huge fan. And I bought, like, multiple copies of it now. I am so excited that they're re-releasing it. I'm so excited that they're redoing it. Like, she sent me a 5-page preview. I read this thing, and I was like, this is amazing, but you sent me like 10 pages. You need to edit this. And she's like, no, go back and count. I'll be dang. It was 5 pages, but there was so much awesome packed into those pages. It is so freaking good. And for us to be able to even get near this playground, woo, I'll do anything. I don't care if it's sweeping the floor after somebody erases the pages. I just want to be able to help on this because I am excited.
Yeah, we're gonna be you in the running. You in the running. I'm gonna say that. And for our final announcement of the night, we're gonna close out with something very unique, something original, dare I say it? Something fresh, something calculated, something with a vibe of a paintbrush, with the official signage and Ryan Robertson bringing his talents to the FSK arena. We will be releasing The Art of Ryan Robinson, Volume 1,
Look at
early
that.
next year.
Man.
Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know something. My interns are not to be messed with, because that's just a rough draft of the cover. The intern, we hired a couple of the interns on as freelancers working with us. All right. Yeah. Somebody said I no longer exist. Hey, best comment of the night. you're gonna have to rent out Hall H next year.
There we go.
I think I will. I think I will, my guy. Um, we're gonna look to see how much leather-bound copy of the book can cost to do, but we're definitely doing a hard book cover. We're doing a hard book cover of it. If a leather-bound isn't overtly pricey, we will do it. But yeah, that's those are announcements for FSCon 2022. Um, Ryan, what do you have to say?
Honestly, I'm really proud to be part of FSK. I'm proud to be introduce my art book to everyone. I'm really excited about it. There's gonna be some really nifty stuff in there, a few new things in there. I'm really, really, really proud to be part of this in every single way. And I'm proud for y'all to have my work as well. It's going to be really amazing. Austin and Mike, we've been look. It's going to be fire.
Indeed.
Fire.
Tony, what do you have to say about these announcements?
I mean, that's what we do, you know. We go hard in the paint, 24/7. So I wouldn't expect anything less than something epic from Mr. Most Epic himself and the crew here. So I'm excited to just to keep working and keep grinding and keep making things happen.
And Mike, I am really upset. We're gonna have a couple words after all this about the super and the freestyle. Now, I don't appreciate it. I'm exiting the building.
Veronica, what do you have to say about the day's announcements?
We're excited. Like there's so much to come. Like
So much to color.
it's like
So much the color.
it's like we're really starting to speed up. Had to slow down a little bit with the pandemic and all that jazz. And like now we're picking up speed, and it's like we're gonna do this thing. It's like we're rolling. Like it's got so much to come out.
Mm. Andrew, I'm holding off on the Zero of an Emergence announcement because the trailer that I have for it did not get uploaded to my computer. We've been having tech issues today, so my main computer that I've been using that has all the downloads isn't working. I had to switch to my laptop to keep the show going. So I don't want to give you all the candy now. I'm going to save that when I have the actual trailer because the trailer is amazing. Really good work in on that trailer. So I'll be making that announcement a little later this week about Emergence. But you can't say we didn't give you enough of some other stuff. Fish, what do you got to say about today's announcements?
I just like to say we came out last year. We gave it a good shot. We gave it all we had. We made a lot of promises last year. We've fulfilled most of them. The other teams have been coming for us. The other publishers have been trying to make moves, trying to come in on us thinking that they got something. We just played harder this year and we wanted it better. And, you know, that's what we got to do. The whole team came together. We've been putting them books out. We're getting them out there to fans. And we're just going to turn around and do the same thing next year. Bigger and better. Yo, FSK.
Awesome. I've been trying to listen to the fans. I've been trying to listen to our audience on things that you guys have wanted and want to see with us. And since number one, I want to thank everybody that supports FSK. I want to thank all the fans. I want to thank our audience. I want to thank our indie community that helps us terribly so much to get us where we're at right now. And because of that, different lanes have opened up, new opportunities have opened up. And Danny and I sitting down and talking about things are like, well, we can get a little riskier. We can do a little thing or two. We can, you know, people are wanting a crossover. Let's find a way to give them a crossover. So definitely excited about next year and what the things will bring. Sitting here well, it's not the end of the year yet, but we're sitting at 33 comics published, 6 successful Kickstarters this year. That's not too bad to shake a leg on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'll be the first one to admit and say we had books that we had on schedule to come out this year that are not coming out. They got pushed to next year. And we are a multi-$100 comic book company, people. We are living and learning as we grow. And we make changes on the fly. And that's, you take life as it comes at you. And I think we've been doing very good this year. And we're going to continue to do the best that we can next year with these exciting titles that are coming. Our next panel will be at 6 p.m. Charlie's going to be hosting that one with a lively bunch. Get ready to come back for that one. I want to thank everybody again, FSK, and my man, J-Man, FSK, 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 FSK. Yeah, that's how we get down, y'all. And we will be back at 6. We'll put it on the floor. Stay with us. We got a poetry performance tonight. Geronimo's in the building. Gonna close us out strong. All right, I'm excited, man. I'm just excited.
The new original.
Well, I think like if it's classic. Yeah.
But it was like you take so much from the
All right. Cool. All right. Sorry about that. We were in the middle of a transaction sale thingamabob, because that's what we do at FSCon while we're taking the time. But we have our next panel coming up. All right. We got Charlie hosting this bad boy. Matter of fact, let me talk to Charlie for a minute. Charlie.
Hey, here we are.
Matter of fact, let me talk to Charlie for a minute.
Oh, let me
Charlie.
hold on.
Hey, here we are.
That's better.
Charlie. So we done our FSK announcements, and you got you got Chris drawing 80 pages of Spider Squirrel next year.
Oh, he's not drawing 80 pages.
Oh, he's not drawing 80 pages?
No, he's doing 24 of the 80. So the
all right,
book
that's still big.
It is. It's huge. So yeah, he's doing 24 of the 80 pages. It's actually gonna be bigger than 80 pages because I had a dozen 6 to 8 page anthological stories from other creators for the Zion universe. So that'll be tacked on after the main story. So it's gonna be like old school comics where you got like the big main story and then a bunch of little fillers. It's crazy.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we were very excited about all the news. I was telling everybody, like, dude, I follow that dude on Instagram. I download his pencils. I download his ink brushes. I download his sketch pages to see how he put pages together. I was like, I already get Spider Squirrel. Then I get my publisher copy. But this man's about to get more money from it because I'm about to definitely cop that issue. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's
So we got this next panel coming up. We're about to get our panelists on here so they go ahead and go into the discussion. This will be the last panel of the night. But then, don't leave yet. We have a special performance from my brother Geronimo, who was driven down here from Cleveland, Ohio, to do some poetry slammage for us to close us out on Saturday night. And it's going to be good. I've heard one of the poems. I love it. And when I heard it, I was like, dude, you got to come down to FSCon. You got to perform for us. All right?
That's all.
Make that happen. And he did, and I love him for it. So after the panel, stick around. We'll have that to close us out. And then we'll go home, and then we'll come back tomorrow, and we'll do this thing again because we got even more banger panels.
right.
Yeah,
We start back at 10 a.m.
Well, hold on. Let me check my panel list because Vess has been getting me together. Her husband and Vess has been getting me together. I've appreciated them so much. I'm so glad they came down here.
That's what we're here for.
Thanks, man. Still looking out, yo.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
I appreciate you.
Yes. Charlie, you're correct. We're back up here at 10 a.m.
There you go.
All right, cool. All right, so we're about to get the panel started. And here we go.
The new original.
Hey.
Hi.
Ted?
Hey, what's happening, Charlie?
Good. Let's see. Andre's coming in. Let's see who else we got there. Sorry, I'm looking at the schedule, so forgive me one second. Just making sure we're getting all the folks in here. So we got Travis.
I'm in here, y'all.
Bess, where you at? There she is.
I'm right here.
There you go. Is that Andre? I don't know Andre.
Let me see.
All right, introduce yourself.
Whom?
Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Andre Batts. I'm on the clock right now. That's why you just have my avatar right now.
Yeah, understood. And I don't know if Sean or Travis are swinging, but we're gonna keep rolling. So so real fast, we'll get this going here real quick. I am Charlie McKelvey, creator of Spider Squirrel, member of Freestyle Comics. Welcome to FSCon. This is awesome. So this is my first, my second con with FSK, but really my first one hosting anything. I joined FSK last year, as Michael noted earlier. So I'm gonna pass the mic around and let the panelists introduce themselves. So we'll go that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
you.
Hi, my name is Landon, and I am here today running my stand or my I don't have to say stand, but it's virtual. I'm running a company called Virtual Lab. It's a virtual reality rental service where I come to events like this and I host VR for everybody there to play.
Very cool, Landon. I hadn't met you, so I appreciate you introducing yourself. That's awesome. All right, Bess, I met you earlier. We were on a panel earlier, so might as well go. You introduce yourself there.
Hey, I'm Vasanya Lindsay, known as Vasanya Designs, but y'all can call me Bess. I do a lot of streaming. I also run a comic called Celestial Pulse. And yeah, this is my first time being in FSK, and I'm over here running things.
Thank you. You've been keeping Mike straight the whole day, so I appreciate
Oh
that more
yeah.
than you.
Yeah, they had a
Uh,
nice rant last like Friday. They had a nice rant, and all of it wasn't even recorded. I was like, "Are you nuts? I got to come back here."
nice. Wow. Thank you very much. Ted, we're going to swing around and I'll keep coming counterclockwise here after that.
Right on. Yeah, I'm the president of Hero Tomorrow Comics. I'm the writer of Apama, Tap Dance Killer, Punchline, and Bloom. And I've directed a feature film, Hero Tomorrow, and do a lot of documentary work as well.
Awesome. And Andre, last
Yes,
but
yes,
not
I'm Andre Batts, creator of Dreadlocks of Urban Style Comic, as well as the producer of my own Comic Con called the Motor City Black Age of Comics, which has been going on now. I just had the 12th annual event maybe 3 months ago. Looking forward to 2023, and I'm just ready to get it in.
awesome. Well, let's get at it. So, this panel, for those of you who either didn't read the schedule or just don't know coming in, that's great. This panel is really about the business of comics, and I'll comment, I'll intro, and then kind of go around, let you guys pop in whatever you want to. We'll do the popcorn style. But one of the things about comics that people don't always like to face is it is a business. I mean, no matter how you slice it, it's a business. So whether you're doing this as a hobby, or just for fun, or if you want to make something out of this, or you want to be like Ted and actually get feature films and documentaries going, either way, it runs the gamut. So it's a business. So what about comics business to you draws you to it? So I guess we'll just keep going in the same circle here. So Landon, you want to go first? What draws you to the business side of comics, for not just the making of comics, but actually like getting into the nitty gritty?
So I don't actually have any comics, but one thing I would like to do is the main reason that I sort of want to be in this business is because our logo, it's a lion with the VR, and I would love to see a character made out of that and a story written about him.
Nice.
So it's really inspired me to think about comics.
Yeah. So, and you've got to invest, right? You've got to kind of put things together. It's not just a matter of just hoping it'll happen, right? So you know that. Yeah, absolutely. Vess, what about you?
So to tell you the truth, I wasn't thinking to be in this business, but my husband, he had found my little doodles when I was making comics, and he's like, "Bess, this needs to be something." So um it's interesting. I sit there, I learn from other people who are creating comics, and I you know just I learn with every single time to go to a little convention and talk to other people and stuff like that. And it's work, but it's all about putting aside something so that you can bring your stuff to life.
Ted, what about you, bud?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, it was really just what is appealing to you about the business side of comics? So we all get the creative side. I think
Okay,
everybody
yeah.
relates
What's
to that.
appealing about the
Yeah.
business? Not much
If
is really
anything.
appealing about it. I feel like it's something we have to do, but
Yeah.
like, there's no part of the business side of this that I was excited about. So, uh, yeah. If I have something after Andre, I'll come back. But
Cool, by all means. Yeah, you can pop in anytime. So if it's something hits your noodle, by all means. Andre, what about you, man? Oh, go ahead, Ted.
yeah, what is appealing is when you're on the show floor and you're selling your book and people are responding, and you're getting that instant, um, you know I don't know what you'd call it, dopamine rush of selling something that somebody's reading, or they're getting back to you with feedback on your work. So Yeah, I mean, anytime we're putting our book in somebody's hands, that's nice. And it's something we really have to do to make this work.
Agreed. No, I love that part. So I'll come back around to that one. So that's a great point. Andre, what about you? Anything about the business side of things that really appeals to you?
Well, when you really think about the business side of it, it's a lot more work than just doing the artwork. So when you think about as much work that you're putting into it, it's not really that much appealing to that right there itself because you're putting a lot into it. But like Ted said, the outcome of it all is what's more appealing because that's when you see the fruits of your labor, basically. You look at it like, wow, I'm doing all of this. I have to get these copyrights done. I have to make sure this character is designed the way it needs to be, and so on and so forth. But then next thing you know, that part is the hard part. But the appealing part is the end all when everyone actually sees the actual project.
Yeah, amen. Echoing what most of you guys have said is I don't really love the business part either. I mean, there are aspects of it that get me kind of giddy when I think about. I'm a spreadsheet nerd, so sometimes I like to get in there and figure out, how can we make this work, or how can I better create, a target for a Kickstarter or whatever, crowdfunding platform. How can I better engage the audience and stuff like that? Those are all things to me that are still business side of it, right? Whether they're social or analytical, but you guys nailed it. I think the biggest, most exciting part is, and I love going to cons, is engaging with the people, the potential readers as well as the existing readers, and figuring out what do they love. I think that to me, and Ted, you said it well. Is getting that instant feedback and being able to engage with people is to me is the most exciting part of it. The business side, I'm just going to tell you, if you haven't done it a comic yet, it kind of sucks. So it's just kind of a drag. But you don't have to let it be. And the like Andre said, the net outcome is really, really where things go. So, biggest lesson learned in comics. I know all of us have, and I know we haven't, not everybody's done a comic yet. But what's the biggest lesson you've learned that's related to the non-creative side of comics? Let's just say it that way. So far in your journey. So, and we'll keep going in the same order here.
I don't really have an answer to that question, so I guess I'll just move on.
That's fine. Yeah, no worries. That's
I think the biggest is you have to have a social media presence. Like you have to have yourself out there and market yourself because if you don't, your stuff is not getting anywhere. So either if it's you doing streaming or you on TikTok showing yourself actually doing your craft, all that is going to be considerate when other people see it because they're like, yo, check this out. Yo, check this out. And it's like word of mouth and it goes around and here you go. You're in that loop, in that stirring the pot situation.
Ted, the biggest non-creative lesson you've learned that you carry with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just making sure when you're going to the printer that you've been so careful with everything. I mean, it still sort of is part of that creative process, but it does feel a bit more businessy. Making sure your cover, with like our Bloom series, we did like 8 covers for each issue, and it just got very complicated. Just trying to, and we are distributed through Diamond, and you know, realizing how Diamond approaches indie books, what they want. They want you to take a half page ad out in the preview guide, which is like, that could be $1,500. And that's sometimes that ad doesn't even run on the same page as your solicitation. And then it's like, it's worthless. So, I was able to negotiate with them. I'm like, hey, if this doesn't land on my solicitation, the ad, I don't want to pay full price, and they worked me out a deal. And so there's ways to just deal with catch things in the bud before they happen once you've been burned by something. And yeah, I guess, man, there's so many, but I can't really think of like the biggest, biggest one.
No, that's fine. And by the way, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, but we'll go around and do a little more loose, just kind of getting things pumped here. So, Andre, what about you, man? Did I lose you?
Here we go.
There you are.
I think you have to always hear that your I's are dotted, T's are crossed. The one thing that really pisses me off or whatever is when you print a book and you think everything is correct.
Hey, Andre, your connection's
most
real bad,
important.
man. You there? Yeah, you're on.
You say about a connection?
Oh, we got like 3 words.
Okay. I was saying, I like to make sure that my I's, E's are crossed for the most part. I like to relax, meditate, and wait on the product to come out. And that's really it for me. It's just a waiting game. Did that come out, or we're still getting me in the void somewhere?
No.
You got
That
it.
was almost crystal clear, so that was perfect.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. So, Landon, talk to me about your business. Now, I know it's not comics, but it's comics adjacent. So, and you're interested in getting to comics, but talk to us about what it is you do. What is your role, and how does that play into the larger kind of ecosystem of comics?
So, my business is the virtual reality renting service for events and parties. And most of the games we have are more like fantasy games, like stuff you would see in comics. Like the games that I brought with me here today, we have Blade and Sorcery, which is a magic and sword fighting game. We have a strategy game where you have to like build this deck and then you fight an opponent. So I've tried to bring games that would fit to more of like the kind of comics. Unfortunately, the superhero games we have, we didn't bring with us. But I tried to fit stuff that was like fantasy related, so the people at this event could enjoy virtual reality towards stuff they like. And so when people come and play these games, they can relate it to the stuff that they like to read or play. And like I said earlier, our mascot is a lion with a virtual reality, and I would love to see a comic based around him because he's a pretty cool character. I had no idea what he would do, but he's pretty cool.
That's okay. Most of us don't know what our characters would do when we first create them, but Vess, so you and I were on a panel earlier, and we were talking about streaming and social media and stuff like that. And you'd already commented about social media earlier today already, or this panel already. So for you, obviously, that's a passion of yours. What draws you to social media, and how do you connect with comic book readers? And is it fair to say that most comic book readers are engaging social or not?
Tell you the truth, the reason why I started doing this was because I wanted to, open the doors to more aspiring artists. I wanted to see their things, what they were doing, and social media was like the best way to do that. So I came into contact with plenty of people who are working up on their comics, figuring out where they want to go from there and how to get into, doing everything else. And that's how I started out until I found out, hey, I should do conventions. And that's when I started like showing people my convention life and, opening the doors to things that I've learned so that they don't have to be stuck, So it's like, we take advantage of that. We take advantage of using Instagram and we take advantage of using TikTok and, Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that so that we can get ourselves to not just at home, like, not just where we at, because my comic is in the UK and in Australia and stuff like that. So it helps with not only just staying home base, it takes me international, and that's what is the exhilarating feeling, like you guys be talking about, like when somebody buys your book and they continue to come back. It's even better when you have somebody from not even where you're at, like over the pond, like, yo, I need the next book when that's coming out, and will is willing to pay the extra shipping just for this sheet of paper, you know? So it's really exhilarating, and yeah, it needs to be taken advantage more. I've seen a lot more content, a lot more comic creators becoming content creators, which have been expanding their horizons when it comes down to building their comic into like a solid business to have continuous people come and more readers and stuff like that.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I personally I love it. In case you can't tell, I'm a people like I don't know. I'm a social butterfly. Wherever, whether it's digital, physical, I don't care. I just want to engage with people. I love it. Yeah. And so that's why we get along.
Yeah.
Ted, you are like a multimedia mogul almost, right? I mean, I know you'll probably laugh at me for saying that, but I mean, you're doing, but you're doing multiple. You're literally in multimedia, right? You've got Bloom, which has got multiple issues. I think we were just talking about this. You said the last one had what 8 covers. I've managed as many as 10 covers. I know what a nightmare that could be. How do you juggle not just the comic side of the business, but you've got all this other stuff that you do, whether it's movies or documentaries or whatever. And I'm not sure even what other multimedia you might be getting engaged in, but
Right,
how
right.
do you, yeah, how do you juggle all this stuff? And what do you use? I mean, are there tools you use, or is this methodology? What does Ted's brain look like when he's going through this process?
Yeah, man, it's a scary place, I suspect. Um, eh, well, so I started out doing. We made a feature film that was about a comic book creator, and that movie, debuted at Comic Con International, played film festivals, and that's what really changed my career. I was then, from that point on, shooting commercials, shooting documentaries, and then we had the idea to bring. Really, it was for the feature film that we had made, Hero Tomorrow, which was about a struggling comic book creator. We made the book that he would have published just to put it on our website, and that got really it was really well received, and we realized how much we like making comics compared to making films because films are so much harder. And then it just kept growing. So I've been, yeah, going back and forth between filmmaking and comic book creation now for the last, you know 11 years, 12 years, really full time. And it's been fun to see the comic book side sort of catch up with. Yeah, neither one of these are traditionally like big money jobs, but I've been fortunate. I've got some really good commercial clients. Like Case Western Reserve University for one, that I do a lot of their branding on the video side, and that has it's been nice to see the comics kind of catch up in the income. Like first it took a long time to get into the black, and so now when we release issues, we do a Kickstarter, and we also are released nationally through Diamond. So between those two initial pushes, we usually start in the black. Then when I'm in at conventions, they can be profitable. Getting profitable at conventions is something that took a while. Uh, I have a friend, Henri Compin, and I recommend anybody who is, wanting to make money at conventions, stop by his booth and watch him. He really, I mean, that guy can do. I don't think he'd mind me saying, but I mean, just selling his indie comic, he'll do more than 5 grand at a convention sometimes. And I think it's sometimes people don't want to talk about numbers and that because it's too personal, but it's nice to know what's possible or what people are doing. And for me, I'll just say a good convention day, if I do over 1,000, that's a really good day. And I've had that happen a good bunch of times. But there are the shows where you're just sitting there and people aren't biting or for whatever reason, or you go through some cold streaks. But I don't know, there's something about the balance of effort and I feel like whenever I have a cold streak, it's usually followed, knock on wood, by a hot streak, and at the end of the day, you come out ahead. So it's helpful to have books that push into other properties. Like everything we do is a shared universe. So if somebody buys Bloom and they really like it, they come back. I'm like, well, that character made her debut in a Pama, and then they're like, no, I didn't know that, and then they pick up a Pama, and so
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I think I went on a tangent there, but hopefully answered some part of what you asked.
Dude, it was totally perfect. No, and it's great because it's funny. I used to be a basketball player. We talk about this all the time. But basketball players, you go through hot streaks and cold streaks when you're shooting, and but indie comics, you're right, it is no different. And all of us have experienced those cold streaks and those hot streaks, and it'll hockey stick one week. You're like, wow, this is great. I'm nailing it. I'm doing the right thing. And you do the exact same thing the next weekend at a bigger, better con, or maybe even a smaller con, and it's like, and you don't even make your money back. But I think the big thing, that I take philosophically from that, and I learned it from basketball, is you never stop shooting, right? You might adjust your shot, you might adjust, your focus, you might adjust whatever, right? And I'm using metaphors obviously here, but you can't stop taking the shots, and that's the most important lesson to learn is don't get down just because you had one really crappy show, right? And don't get too excited because you had a great one either. Set the money aside and save it for the bad show. So. Andre, you Urban Style. So talk to us about Urban Style. What is Urban Style delivering? I know you got what is it, Dreadlocks? I think it is. That's either coming or is out. And you've got some other properties too. So why don't you talk to us about what you guys have and what you're bringing to the fold here, and what your plans are for maybe for the rest of 2022 and going into 23.
Okay, yes. Dreadlocks just recently approached 30 years of doing dreadlocks. From the conception to actually doing a book. I worked on an animated movie maybe 10 years ago. We worked through iClone. I don't know if you guys are familiar with iClone. It was successful for that time being. Is in the process of working on another animated piece for Dreadlocks. Getting into the video gaming as well with a couple of my other characters, such as Jihad AD 2166. Look, I should have a demo ready for that. I'm thinking within the next 3 months. It's a lot of directions I'm going with Dreadlocks. I have different designs and different universes as it relates to Dreadlocks. At this point with 30 years, I can really do whatever I want. First thing was establishing my demographics with the character because he wasn't appealing right off the rip to everyone as far as in the industry is concerned. But that was okay with me because I just kept on pushing, just like you brought up a valid point as far as when you play basketball, I played a little basketball too. Just because you miss 20 shots doesn't mean you're supposed to stop shooting.
Exactly.
So I agree 100% with that. And so with Dreadlocks, that's basically my ordeal that I had in the past. But right now, my demographics have somewhat been established. And, the Urban Style Comics, the LLC, has kicked off pretty good. And a lot of it, wherever I go, is like, hey, I've been seeing this forever online. But see, I was doing Dreadlocks before, the internet even started popping. Before we even had www, Dreadlocks was, already out there. I was going to small events. I live here in Detroit, Michigan. So my first shows, most of them were right here in this area, such as Motor City Comic Con, which is coming up soon, next month, as a matter of fact. It was pretty slow quite a bit. So I eventually ventured out to Chicago doing their shows. I think back then it was the Chicago Comic Con, eventually became Wizard World, and now we know it's Fan Expo. So I do some cons, I don't do all cons because I have to look at what's beneficial as far as financially. I just did an event right here in Detroit called Dally in the Alley, which was successful. I really don't talk numbers either, and I don't really speak on it a lot because it's not that it's just my business or whatever. It's just that I feel that when some people get online and they're like, well, I sold out, and all this kind of stuff with their books, when I look at sold out, I'm not looking at, hey, I took 100 books and I sold them out. because that's nothing or whatever. A sellout, that means you took 1,000 books plus and you sold them out. So now you're doing big things. But I see a lot of that online, and see, I'm not that type of person myself to put that out there because I sell out just about wherever I go, But thinking about it, I just know that when we use that language, we have to be real careful with that, and we have to understand that it's based on how many, the quantity that we actually took out, or whatever. If you go there with 20 books and you sell out, that doesn't mean anything. That only means 20 people came to your table. That's it. 25 people. At a con, you may have 20,000 plus people there. So you want to get at least a third of that to your table. Once you get that to your table, now I always sell them, what Tom brought up earlier when he brought up the $5,000 for that con. That's good. Excellent. And that's what we're looking at. As far as Stratlock, like I said, I'm getting into gaming, the animation. I would like to get a live action going. I'm in the process of scripting something out for live action and as well as animation again. I'm going to go stick my hands into that again. I'm not going to leave it alone. Like I say, the video gaming aspect is another big thing that I'm doing as well.
That's awesome. Now, I was actually I was checking out your shop earlier, and if I remember correctly, it was 20. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I counted 26 books that you've released through Urban Style. Is that right?
Actually, it's more than that because remember, I was doing this before the internet. Some of these, I don't even have them anymore.
That's awesome. Hey, but that's far and above what most indie comics tend to do. Is really where I was going with that question. Is that let me ask? So, is Chris and Kevin still involved with Urban Style, and you guys all still kind of working together on this stuff?
Well, we're still tight. We still have a tight knit family, but we're all doing different things. Urban Style Comics now is more so me, but like Chris, he's on the web end as far as helping out on the web designs, and Khalil, Kevin, he's more or less on the the shows, like what shows should I participate in, and so on and so forth. He helps me out with that for the most part, but they're still involved, like silent partners now, I should say.
No, that's cool. I love that you guys have stuck together for so long. So I think that's really impressive. By the way, I'm kind of looping back around backwards. So thanks, Andre. That's awesome. I'm inspired. It just whenever I see, and I'll talk to Ted about the same thing. Is whenever I see an indie creator who has double-digit title, on his titles or his or her titles, it's impressive to me because I know especially if you're relying on crowdfunding, you can only get 3, 4, maybe 5 books out a year if you're lucky. On crowdfunding because you got these cycles that you have to go through. You got a campaign, you've got to run through the campaign, you got to get it funded, then you got to get everything built, and you got to get it delivered, and da 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 da. So kudos to you because you're OG in it, man. You were out there doing this thing before, like you said, before the internet, and now you're yet even right now. Forget all the stuff that's not even available. You got 20, 24 titles that are available today or issues that are available today. That's outstanding. So golf clap on that one, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ted, likewise, you've got. I don't know who else is in the group with you at Hero Tomorrow Comics, so I'll refer to you singularly, but you're welcome to correct me there. You've got. Let's see, what is it? Palma's on 12 issues, 10, 11, 12 issues, right?
12, yeah.
12, and Bloom's got multiple issues now.
Bloom was 4, Tap Dance Killers 5, Punchlines 1 so far.
That's again multiple titles, multiple issues delivered. What's it like? Give me a synopsize, if you will, kind of your business model, and when you go to launch a new title, what steps do you take before you even get out there and start socializing this?
I do think the Kickstarter is really good. Backer Kit now with the Backer Kit launch, that's been terrific. Like so, every first day seems like it grows because Backer Kit conglomerates all your backers from any campaign you've ever done, and you set out an email that's like this campaign is coming and it's launching tomorrow or whatever. Then you send it out when you launch it on day one. Everybody's ready for it. Who would normally maybe take the first couple of weeks to back it. So you can have a great first day or first 2 days, and then you get this really big dead zone in the middle, and then things really pick up at the end. Yeah, with Bloom, I was committed to putting all 4 issues out last year, so it was a Kickstarter campaign and a diamond solicitation every 2 or 3 months. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I would ever want to do that again. And this was a book that I had largely written. We had a big jump start on it, and I was still, because one of the business things that also is sort of a creative thing is I do all the coloring, lettering. So it was just Butch Mappa doing the pencils and inks and myself. So it was just, that's an awful lot of work. The coloring takes forever, at least it does for me. And I don't know that I would want to do that in that way again. That, you know, it just takes away from all kinds of family time and things that are super important, obviously. I want to say something real quick to Andre. I didn't realize we met when we made the Hero Tomorrow movie, and we had a a comic book shop in the movie, and we were not allowed. We asked Marvel, we asked DC if we could show their books in our story, just in the racks, and they said no. So we ended up going to all these comic conventions and meeting a bunch of independents. And when he said dreadlocks, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that was one of the books we showed in our movie, man. So I want to thank you for
Well,
that. We must have either met you at the Space Convention in like 2003 or at Pittsburgh Comic Con around the same.
it may have been Pittsburgh Comic Con.
Wow.
Space, that's in Columbus as well, right?
Yeah, so it was one of the two.
You
And
never know.
you hooked us up with some stuff that we could show, and I'm grateful and
No
happy to
problem.
send you a copy of the movie, by the way. So I sent you a friend request.
Oh, I would appreciate that.
See, look, we're bringing everybody together even tighter.
Is everybody doing Cincinnati, by the way? Fan Expo this coming weekend?
No, I'm getting ready for the Motor City Comic Con right now,
Okay.
which is the third weekend of October this year, the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Baltimore and New York?
Now, I would like to go to Baltimore, but that's oh, sorry about that. Someone riding a mini bike by me.
Oh,
But
that's okay.
No, you're
We can
fine.
talk about that.
Baltimore is in that's in November. Is it? No, is it coming up soon?
No, it's the last weekend in October. It's right before Halloween. It's the 28th through the 30th. Because I'll be there. Ted, I guess you'll be there.
No, I'll be getting ready
Awesome.
for YumaCon. That's what it is, YumaCon. Because YumaCon is the first weekend of November.
The good thing about Baltimore, which is related to this conversation, is that is where the dealers all get together to have their big powwows, industry things. So when you're visible at Baltimore, when I have a table there, a lot of times store owners will come up to me and tell me how our book's doing, or so that's a good one. Besides just a really good show for a lot of amazing talent, it's a good one to be at and kind of try to network a little bit.
I will say that Baltimore is one of my top two favorite shows, and it's probably number one. But I love Heroes Con too. And to your point, Ted, such a phenomenal talent besides me. I'm there anyway, but I'm the one schmuck that's out there having a good time and selling whatever. But no, I go as a fan almost as much as anything behind the table. So I love it. I get to see Bob France is a good buddy of mine. I love seeing Bob. Whatever I can, and these guys, it's just amazing the talent that shows up. Afua Richardson, who was on social media recently for some really, not because she did anything bad, because somebody else said something terrible. She wonderful person. I got to meet her last year, and I'm just so impressed with not only the talent that's out there, but the humanity that is amongst us. Right? It's just these big name stars and stuff that we see in comics are really. They're people too, and that's really kind of fun. And Baltimore is one of those places where everybody seems to be really chill. It's almost a leveling factor when it comes to egos, if I could say that. So I really enjoy Baltimore. So Ted, I look forward to seeing you there, man.
Likewise.
Thanks, dude. All right, Vess. So,
Yeah.
dude, I didn't get to say this earlier, but I I'm dying to get the best cover on one of my books. So we got to talk, man, offline. You know, we'll let Ted and Andre have their offline conversation about movies, but you and I got to talk about covers.
Yes.
So you've got this dope like Western manga style that I absolutely adore. No, I love it. It's super cute. I assume that's all you. Look, there you go. A little shine there. Can I maybe hold it down so we don't get so much light? There you go.
We got 9 issues, baby. Working on the 10th one.
So you got 9 issues, working on issue 10. So similar question to the rest of the crew here is, you know, what one? I guess I'm gonna change up a little bit. What keeps you going? You obviously do a lot of the work yourself, like Ted. So how do you keep moving? How do you keep motivated? And really, you know, how the heck do you do it? Because your style's beautiful. So lay it on me, man.
So you can say all this is driven by passion alone because I can't stop. Like I will be done doing my comic, you know, my 9 to 5, and then I'll be eating dinner and sketching something else in a notepad. Like this is something that like it's like an obsession. You know, if they had that thing that was like, you know, the weirdest obsession, I will be on that show for art because that's basically me. I just all day, every day, can't stop, won't stop. My husband tried, it doesn't work. And yeah, when I was younger, I had like a really rough childhood. Like I was abused and stuff like that. So art was a way to escape. So this is like a whole different thing for me. Like, you know, sure, it's a business. Sure, you know, you got to do X and Y things for it. But this is like my relief. This is like my medicine to keep me stable, you know? And I can say that's the thing that keeps me going is the fact that I have a story, I want to tell it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go full force and try to get it done and tell people about it because it seems like they enjoy it, especially when they come back to me asking me for the next issue. So yeah, you know, it's I can say I'm heavily driven by passion. It's just the love for what I do. That's what keeps me going.
So I know the theme of this panel was business, but I think everybody here kind of hit a little bit on what's really important is it is a business, right? We all recognize that, but we kind of joked about it earlier. It's not fun all the time,
Yeah.
but what you got to have that like if you're not driven, and I think passion is a great word. If you're not driven by this desire, by this passion to do this thing, then it won't be successful. I'm just going to say it, you know, like that. I mean, you can be successful without passion. I'm sure it happens all the time, but that's just it's not the same, right? And you don't get to celebrate it. So kudos to you. We had this conversation earlier, so I know I'm glad you said it. Yeah, I'm glad you said it. So
it's the whole situation of like, sure, you can think about money, like anybody can. That's what we need to live. But the thing about it is, if you keep thinking on that money, it's not going to be fun when you're trying to do something that you supposedly love. Like these are my babies, you know, these are something that I do daily. So it's like, yeah, it's amazing to get, you know, a support. You know, it's amazing to get that support. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm making a story. I'm like I'm giving other people ideas. I'm inspiring other people. And that's like also another, oh, I did something, you know?
yeah, I love it. All right, Landon, we're gonna let you close this out, and then actually I'll go around and ask everybody where we can find you because I want everyone to know because this is a great panel. Landon, talk to me about so VR is obviously big, right? Because I know Meta is into it. We've got the Quest, right, and then PlayStation even has their own VR stuff. So, what got you into VR specifically? And then from the business aspect of things, like how do you go and making sure that you get not only a product produced, but to get it out in the market?
Well, I'm a big gaming nerd, so one of the big reasons why I like VR so much, and I feel that everybody should love VR, is it allows you to escape reality. It really is virtual reality. It's it's just a game or multiple games where you can do what you like, or you could be a character that you could read about in a book, or you could literally do anything, and that is just it's crazy to me. So I love VR that way, and I think that it is a really marketable business for those who can't afford a VR because they're not the cheapest thing in the world, nor is the business itself. So I really wanted to bring people an opportunity to play VR that don't have the kind of money to buy the kind of VRs that I have with me. And I just feel that to bring it into the world like that, this is the perfect formal way to go to these conventions or these events where you can show everybody like the kind of stuff that we have to offer. I mean, we have fighting games, we have like ninja games, we have games where you can fly, we have games where you can just box people, we have games where you can just explore. It's like a whole other world that you can go through, and I feel that everybody should be able to experience that. And the virtual reality market in my local area around here, Ohio, is it's not very large at all. So I'm one of the very few options available for virtual reality content in the area.
Nice. Very nice. All right, Andre, we're gonna wrap this up because Mike gave me the 5 minute, like he's gonna give me the hook here in a minute. So although I usually ignore Mike, I'm gonna be nice. I'll play nice because I know they want to go home. So Mike, I love you. So I'll let you guys go home. Andre, where can everybody find you in Urban Style Comics? If I want to go buy some stuff.
Well, they actually can go to my website, my store page, urbanstylecomics.com or urbanstylecomics.store. They can look me up that way. And, social media for sure. You can link up with me on social media. We can chat, communicate, go back and forth. Or we can run into each other at a show. I always like to meet with individuals live and in person because I like to interact with a lot of individuals more so than social media and being online. But that's the new thing now. So I have to really put my mindset on social media. I got to get back to that. So that's basically it.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Ted, same question. Where can we find you?
Yeah, it's herotomorrow.com. That's our website. You can get everything there. My social media is also Ted Sakura. There's also one other tip, if I may.
Please.
We're talking about making money at conventions. And I do, somebody told me this, and I believe it. There's power in the $20 price item. Okay. And when you go over 20, it's two bills, like 20 is one bill. Now, what the way I priced Bloom, for instance. Okay, so this was a $4 book sold in comic shops, and it was a 4 issue series. And so, my initial thought was, I'll sell all four for $15. They get a dollar deal. But then I thought, screw that. I'm going to make it four for 20. And I'm going to throw in a sticker. And that works all day long. And I don't mention that it's a $4 book. They don't really see the price on most. Maybe every three shows, somebody's like, "Hey, these are $4 books, and you're charging $5, and you're calling it a deal." I'm like, "Oh well, I am signing it, and I am giving you a sticker." But it's something to think about. Don't necessarily make the bundle less if it's, if you can make a little more money. It's a hustle, and you gotta. I don't feel like I'm ripping anybody off for sure. I mean, we put our heart and soul into that. So anyway.
No, it's funny. I think it was Jerry Conway was talking about that recently. If you guys don't know Jerry Conway, he's a comic book legend. He was talking about the same thing. Like, and I can't remember if it was Adam Hughes or someone else said, I charge $20 for my signature because it's easy, right? And the reason, and guys, if you don't know what the rule of 20 is, what Ted's talking about is, sell bundles $20, whether an item is $20 or a bundle is $20, because what's the common denomination that comes out of an ATM machine? ATM machine. Wow, I just repeated ATM. $20 bills. So when people go get cash out of the ATM, they're getting $20 bills. So it's nice that one, you don't have to carry as much change, and two, you make it easy for the purchaser, right? And so Ted nailed it. Like it's a business decision. But I think this is great. I think it's a great point to bring up. So cool tip. Thanks for bringing that up. I totally forgot about it. I do it. I just don't mention it. All right, Vess, where can everybody find you, lady?
Listen, I've been saying this all day. I'm Google friendly, all right? So designs, you can get my store, which is the same designs squareup.com. You can look for Celestial Post or Posttober. Google friendly. I'm there. You can find me on Twitch too.
Nice. Yes, yes, we can. All right,
Oh,
Landon,
um,
you're last, buddy, but you're not least. Where can we find you?
I don't know my URL by heart, but if you search for Ohio, I'm sorry, if you search for Virtual Lab Ohio, we should be one of the first few on there.
Awesome. And are you on social or anywhere we can
We're
find?
actually still working on that, so we're going to start up social media soon. But you'll be able to find all that stuff on our website, which I will hopefully know the URL for soon.
Okay, great. Yeah, make sure Michael gets that out there for us, guys. All right. Any last parting shots at me, the host, or the or anybody or anything or any thoughts or wisdom you want to drop before we roll, guys? Just chime
Shout out
in.
to Tech. He makes some good stuff. I got his book.
I got yours. And I got Charlie's too. I did one of your Kickstarters.
Oh, thanks,
Yes,
man. I
and
appreciate that.
I've been hanging out with Landon, so his side is really nice. He be slaying them dragons and
Well,
everything. I was like, oh.
I'll back my Zoop right now. So we were talking about crowdfund, the backer kit and everybody getting into these crowdfunding things. I love it that we've got some innovative new crowdfunding techniques or platforms that we're not stuck with one and we can innovate together. So I really, really like that. And I'm excited about Zoop. So, well, look, thank you all so much for attending the last hour. I appreciate all the panelists for being here. Thank you guys for putting up with my voice for the last hour. I know that's hard. My wife complains about it all the time. But you guys are beautiful. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of FS Con. We are back tomorrow. Don't leave because there's a show afterwards. We're gonna do a little I think it's a poetry reading, a set to music, I believe, and coming shortly. Mike Watson should be coming in here for that. But we're also back tomorrow at 10 a.m. starting with some storytelling techniques and several other panels. So please come back tomorrow and enjoy the rest of FS Con. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
Yeah, back in the building. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, brother.
Charles, thank you so much for hosting that panel, man. That panel was dope. Thank you, thank you. We're gonna catch you guys again tomorrow. But like I said, everybody, do not leave. Look, I ain't gonna hype them up, but I'm gonna hype them up. All right. We got a little poetry slam to close us out tonight. We like this before the close out of the night, but this is about to be super awesome. I just can't wait for you guys to hear this dude. I went to, oh my God. I'm sorry, Veronica, you can't be giving me stuff like that online. Let me show you what she just showed me. Oh my God. Look, this is the cover, the Hot Shot number 12. And in case some of you are just tuning in, I'm perfectly comfortable with this, and I'll get you up to speed. The newest issues of Hot Shots called Unforgiven. I'm writing a story about a past situation where my stepfather beat on my mom, and we are exploring it now, like Hot Shot as a man with superpowers, how he feels about that versus being a kid and not doing anything and helping. I've always vowed that if I see my stepfather again, it's hands all day, every day, whenever I see him. And I never really got to explore that because I moved down to Columbus and live down here now or whatnot. And in this story, I get to explore that. The 12th issue is pretty violent. I'm very protective of my mom. All right, I think we all are. And with me getting the chance to explore this, it's almost my therapy. But Veronica has just captured exactly how I want this book to look. And I'm going to try to show this to you on screen right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Hey, this will have the title font and everything on it tonight. Veronica staying in my house tonight. This will be all whipped up and done. And I will
First thing we do.
First thing I do when I walk in the house is getting this dressed. Oh, look, it's gonna be cover of the year. Give me an Oscar. Thank you so much, Veronica. Hey, I love making comics. All right, so back to my brother. Geronimo came down here from Cleveland, Ohio, 216. He's about to get ready to put it down. I want you guys to stand up. I mean, you don't literally have to stand up. You're at home. Round of applause for Geronimo Mooney. All right, sir, go ahead and do your thing. It's all you.
Hey, yo, peace to everybody. So the piece I want to do for you guys, it's called Milk Longer. I don't know where the camera at. Okay, there we go. I was 11 years old when my father was murdered. I found this body. I gave him a shake, but he just wouldn't wake, so I screamed out his name. I didn't know what to say. I was just playing basketball with my friends. Now I'm noticing my dirty fingernails on my daddy's cold skin. I didn't have any family here, so they placed me in foster care. And my social worker didn't like me. And I ain't like his ass either. Because he talked to me as a collective, you know, with sentences that start, you people. I remember my father told me that his brother lived in the motherland. So where was my aunties, uncles, cousins? I didn't understand. I'm forced to live a life of reacting. A chain reactions was happening to my innocence. My flawless dreams I thought was limitless, but I stopped dreaming once I seen all of my blemishes. Vengeance. Since I couldn't seem to dream anymore, I devised a plan. Joined the Navy, maybe I explore some foreign land, but travel was replaced with battle for gun and blade was laid in these vengeful hands. The blood rush wasn't enough, so I got a new tattoo every time I slayed a man. My ancestors say that I'm lost, and I agree, because chains ain't my thing, and even in death, I'd rather be free. So in my mind, from Navy to SEALs to Black Ops was from the same as from baby to drug dealer to black vengeance. Until the winner goes to spoils. I worked and killed my whole life to reach this foreign soil. My birthright, I hunger. And my friends, when we were younger, they used to call me E. Little Eric Killmonger. Oh! That's that piece. Thank you.
Sit down. Sit down. Hey, did you see it coming? Did you see it coming? They call him E. Eric Killmonger. Boy's a beast. Get him a contract. Get him on stage.
Oh yeah.
Take him somewhere, y'all.
Yeah, just bring me to the Comic Cons. That's all I need. Bring me to the freestyle comics. Y'all see the swag though?
The swag.
I don't know if y'all seen the drip though.
The drip?
Yeah. You see that?
Oh shoot. They can see that.
Okay. Yeah, it just had to.
FSKnow.com. FSK Now. Get all your merch. Hey, I love that phone. You a beast.
Thank you, sir. No, you a beast.
You a beast.
You beast. I'm here because of you.
I'm here because of you.
Ooh, Inception.
High school. That's how far back we go.
Yeah.
All right. Look, thank you so much. That was amazing. I want to thank everybody for coming out here who came out in person. Everybody that watches virtual. This was a blast. Had so much fun. And we're going to do it again tomorrow. We are back at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're going to dive into our panels. We got our vendors all coming back tomorrow as well. We got some hot topics. I'm going to go get some food because after that, I will go home and I'll post tomorrow's panels and we're going to get into it. Shout out to Jerome. Shout out to all my panel hosts. Shout out to my vendors here. Shout out to everybody that came in. Great stuff. And good night, everybody. Enjoyed it and catch you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Same Twitch channel, same Twitch time, FSK, all the damn time. Bars!